Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm doing things a little bit differently. I'm going through some kind of change in the way that I get messages and do readings. So I may be a little bit quieter than usual, but I just feel like I was getting into a kind of like stuck in a rut kind of thing, or like in a bit of a swamp of having to do these star sign readings, where I love doing the readings, but I just felt like I was getting a bit stagnant. Now, there is something about stagnant water, which I'll come back to. I'm doing a lot of meditation and kind of visualization work, and I'm getting a lot of stuff about this enchanted forest, which I think came through for somebody's reading. I can't remember who, but it was from the King Cran's deck, and it was like this forest with a cave in it. And I've been doing all this work, like visualizations and things like this, which I'm not going to go into too much because I feel like I'm going through, I think it's just like a collective thing where I'm going from this kind of, I don't want to say Empress energy, I'm Libra, it sounds like a brag, right? Kind of into more High Priestess energy. Now, my mum passed over and she was a Scorpio, and I feel like I've been trying to kind of connect with her and work with her more, as a way of trying to work beyond the veil, right? The High Priestess, normally there's a veil between these two pillars because she works in the 3D, but she's connected to, the spirit realm. So these two cards to me have been talking about kind of the need to have some downtime. This is kind of like us in the 3D, like people in their own reality and maybe feeling very, very drained, very exhausted, perhaps a little bit prone to colds and things at the moment that slow you down. It's like this is the need to have time to rest. This is the need to be still and be quiet and go inwards, right? Rather than being outside, like, sociable or whatever. It's like the need for quiet time, because what we're doing in that quiet time now, it could be when you're sleeping, it could be, it could be during meditation, right? It's whatever time you have where you can be quiet, you can be still, almost in that kind of sleep state and go inwards. Like all the activity, all the work at the moment is being done inside. So it's almost like if you think about like the Matrix, right? Going to sleep in one reality and waking up in another reality and doing a lot of energetic work in that reality. So again, it could be talking about having very vivid dreams, or just getting a lot of visions or intuitive messages if you get that kind of thing. So this is the state that we're beginning with, right? This sleeping in the real world, awake in the dream state energy. Now, I've been doing this kind of work myself, and I've been getting a lot of these visuals of a forest. I've already been working with this cave energy quite a lot, and in this forest, I've been finding this kind of like pool quite a lot. It's almost like if you remember the story of Akateon, who's like the hunter, and he walks upon, he finds Diana bathing, right, in the pool. It doesn't end well for him. But it's like that sacred spring, right, which is here, this secret spring, has been coming through visually. So because I've been doing a lot of work with this kind of forest visualization energy, I got this deck. Where's the box for it? I want to show you the box art so you know what I'm using here. There it is. It's the Sacred Forest by Denise Lim. So I feel like I want to kind of do a set of readings, and again, I'm working with the energy as it appears. So I don't want to commit to anything. I don't want to kind of say this is the plan. I'm very much going with the flow. I'm in a flux state at the moment. So I don't know how regularly the videos are going to be up on the channel. The star signs are going to be put up as shorts unless I'm directed otherwise. And then these kind of deeper messages, which are more like collective messages, or even individual messages that are quite targeted, but I don't know who they're for. They're going to kind of come up as and when I get guided to say them, right? When I get the information, I'll do the reading on them. Anyway, so take a journey with me into the sacred forest, into the crystal cave, because that's where we're going to find the secret spring today. So this energy here is very much anyone who identifies as this Emperor High Priestess energy, anyone who's maybe being guided to be, as I am, a little bit quieter than usual at the moment. Normally the Empress can be quite, she kind of takes a bit of a backseat role. She can be, she's kind of an advisor, a support system, a creative, like a muse, right? Inspiration, where my energy is shifting more into this Scorpio energy, which is more High Priestess, which says you the high priestess knows a lot. They're like an owl, right? They know a lot, but they don't necessarily say as much as they know. So it's almost like the divine feminine energy is going into this kind of hiding mode or rest period where they're doing a lot of work on the 5D. Does that make any sense? So if you identify as this energy, then you start off this reading here. So we start off with this I'm going to get in deeper to this. We start off with this woman here who is, to me, she's like a high priestess, and she's inside the crystal cave. Now, the crystal cave, to me, it used to be a very, very dark place. It used to talk about, you know, going within and doing that shadow work. So she's inside, she's, you know, in that rest state, but internally she's doing a lot of work. She's doing a lot of energetic work. And then yeah, I'm going to go one at a time. So I'm just going to move Success, Secret Spring, and the Frog Spirit over for a second. So this High Priestess doing this work inside the cave to me is a representation of our inner world, right? Where we go within and we battle with our inner demons, and we do that shadow work, right? That Carl Jung shadow work that I talk about so often on the channel. So here she is, right? And this card, this kind of story comes up a lot for Capricorn, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Cappy. It depends how you resonate, right? Do you resonate with this sleepy Empress who's doing a lot of shadow work, or it could just be general divine feminine, no matter what your sign is. So it's like purposefully, to me though, it feels more like going in after somebody else, right? Going looking for somebody. It's like somebody else is doing some shadow work and you're going in to guide them, is the way it's coming through. So yeah, this Nine of Wands energy, this is the wounded warrior, somebody who's fighting a long, tough battle. They may get knocked down, but they know how to get back up again. So it really is this kind of like warrior spirit that I think you have to go through this dark journey in order to become the emperor, the empress, or the high priestess, right? Or the hierophant even. So this inner battle. I don't have a song for this section of the reading. That was interesting. I was just like looking around for my song, and yeah, the other sections have songs and this one doesn't. So yeah, trust. So it does talk about going in, doing the shadow work, and having to face things that are quite scary. If you want to talk about this as going into your own internal underworld, you're going to face your inner demons in there, but you have to have trust in higher powers, especially if you've been led there. I once had this visualization where it's like Archangel Michael had led me to this like devil-like dragon that I was kind of befriending, and it's like, well, why would a guardian spirit take you down into the shadow realms, right? Because they're teaching you to face your inner demons. They're teaching you to incorporate your shadow and get that golden shadow. Look at this beautiful golden light that she has here, which is a source of inspiration and light. Nobody's wholly good and nobody's wholly bad. We're all a mix of both. We're supposed to be a mix of both to have a human experience on earth. So this reading is really about self-love, not shying away from the things that are difficult to look at, but finding acceptance and incorporation in a positive way. So yeah, this high priestess, she's doing some energy work here. It's like she's creating this orb of light. She's creating this globe of light, which is something that I actually do when I'm doing energetic work. And it's like she's pulling down stars. It's like she's pulling energy in to create this kind of this ball of light, this ball of energy. It's like it feels to me like something that's it's like an atom. If you think of like an atom bomb, right? There's a huge amount of power in there. It's like pulling in stars to create almost, I don't want to say the word, but it's like an atomic blast. Okay, so it's like a huge ball of energetic potential is the way it's coming through, but it's also like a guiding source of light or something like this. So I don't know if this is her like going down searching for somebody in that dark cave, or if this is the other person in the cave and it's like they're starting to notice. Can you see the color here? It's like they're down in that cave, they're lost within their own shadow, but then they start to see this source of light, this guiding light that is being manifested by this high priestess energy here. So I actually asked what energy is she working with? Because I got this card here, energy. So it's like the drawing down or drawing in energy into her hands and then creating this. It's like compacting it, like drawing in a lot of power and compacting it is how it's coming through. So I said, what is this energy that she's working with? And I got the answer, marine life or richness. So again, it's this energy of like, to me, it's like she's creating the secret spring within this cave, which is an imagery that I've had quite often before. The cave for a while was talking about kind of like a heart space that had been quite closed off emotionally, a heart space that had been, it's almost like when somebody gets wounded, they can shut down emotionally, right? They can close off. So it's like they're bringing in the unit. It's like inside this void space, inside this dark space, inside this empty space, this high priestess has intentionally gone in there into kind of like this place that it really feels like confronting your demons or confronting your fears or like not being afraid. So she's gone in there in order to light up this cave with crystals, which is an image that I had a while back, but also allowing water to come back in, water meaning emotions. And then it's like, let's say, I'm going to come back to that in a moment. It's like somebody's being guided, basically. It's like somebody's being guided to kind of turn around, to take a different path, to see the light, if you will. But then it came in as well with this Two of Swords, which keeps popping up in my readings. So it's almost as though, I don't know, she's gone in there for a good reason, right? She's trying to help. She's trying to, it's like she's trying to guide this person into the darkest areas of their own inner psyche in order to confront something that they've been avoiding confronting. Or it's like she's, can you see how she's like completely surrounded by this like plant life? It's like she's pulling in this richness. She's showing this person like, look how, can you see like she's sat in the middle of it all? It's like, look at how much depth is here. Look at how much emotional depth is here. Look at how much, you know, all this stuff that you've been avoiding looking at within yourself, all this stuff that you've been running away from. There's so much energetic potential here. There's so much creative potential here. There's so much abundance. It's like, come back. We'll explore this. We'll explore your emotions together, because it's actually a very beautiful space. You just have to shine a light on it and understand how to look at this and how to work with it. You know, emotions are not something that you should run away from. So this huge like ball of energetic potential, these rich emotions that can be tapped into and utilized to create richness and abundance. And you know, the Empress is an energy of abundance and potential. It really just feels like shadow work, right? Tapping into the emotions that you've avoided looking at in order to tap into some kind of untapped potential. Right, okay, well, it's quite a lot to go on there. So again, with this light behind her, now this, I feel like this person is being perceived to be some sort of siren. It's like, it's almost like whoever this other character is, they're down there in the dark, right? They're down there in the cave. They're doing their own thing. They're fighting their own battles. And it's like, almost like this light is some sort of trick. It's like, you know, the time you tie me to the mast, which I think is from a Mumford and Sons song. No, it's Cat Empire. Tie me to the mast, I must believe. Well, she looks so fine to me, and I'm just a man on an odyssey. So tie me to the mast, I must believe. And I'm trying to get the song. Hang on. Fishies. I welcome fishies to my hook. I welcome fishies to my hook. So it's like they've been down there fishing or something. We could talk about, you know, Little Black Book. It's like this person perhaps was a bit of a player at some point, which I'll come back to. It's like trying to catch the fish, right? There's a lot of fish in the sea. Something like this, where it's almost like, what's trying to come through? I don't know. It's like this person's been ignoring this bright light because they think it's some kind of, either they think it's going to reveal something that they're not comfortable with the world knowing, something like that. This is like they don't want the world to know, you know, about their past, perhaps about some kind of secret hidden behavior, something like that, or so that it's like they've been running from it, and they don't understand that it's actually trying to help, because they're perceiving this energy to be a siren. It literally, I'm just going to pause to get the cards, excuse me a second. Okay, I'm going to come back to this in a minute when we talk about the secret spring, but it's like they perceive this energy, this high priestess, to be a devil, right? They perceive this energy to be a siren. It's like, it could be talking, again, if this is somebody who's a bit of a player, which I'll come back to, because we're talking about their shadow side. It's like, well, if they're strongly attracted to this energy, even a bit obsessive about this energy, again, look at this kind of ball of light showing here. It's like, it's almost like it's like, is it a guiding light? Is it really a light, or is it a devil, right? Is it a trick? It's like they think it's some kind of trick. So let me just read this card, because it kind of explains. It's like this high priestess is figuring out, am I going to help or am I not going to help? Am I going to continue to energetically invest in this person? Am I going to continue trying to help them? Something like that. Because this two of swords says, even though it's like perceived to be a siren, right? It says, what shall I choose? I have a choice to make, and it's not an easy one. Should I save that handsome man who is drifting unconscious, or should I let him drown and forget his face forever? Remember, we're talking about these deep waters, right? Should I let him drown? And forget his face forever? I know the answer lies within me, and that's why, right? That's why she's gone within. That's why she's doing this internal work. That's why I have to dig deep inside to find it, right? I have to do this inner work and question my heart, even though that scares me. I have to make a decision quick. If you're sailing on this same ocean of doubt, that means you've a choice to make too, and you can't avoid it. We both have to question ourselves and face the truth of the matter. The sun is already rising, so the decision for you and I is to be made now. So it does feel like there's this double energy of either, now it could be a double energy of the accepted self and this your own dark side, right? I could be talking about two sides of the same person here, two sides of the self. Are you going to accept your you know, your bad habits, your toxic side? Are you going to accept your own inner demons and embrace them and incorporate them to do that golden shadow work, which, if you don't understand what that is, please do go and look it up. Or it could be talking about literally two people, like the high priestess is saying, should I save this person? Even though perhaps they're painting me out to be the monster, they're you know, saying that I'm the bad person, should I continue to invest? Something like this, but this kind of water energy. I feel like this high priestess works with water, like with emotions. And again, look at this sun kind of rising here as well. So the sun is rising, she says. She is creating this ball of light, this ball of energy. I've been getting such interesting readings off camera, but I've been in this kind of like high priestess energy of not necessarily, I shouldn't necessarily say everything that I'm getting, but there's this energy that's been coming through as this kind of like wounded warrior. I'm going to have to do another reading on it, I think. So the crystal cave. So this is what the crystal cave has all been about. It's the deepest, darkest parts of ourselves, and the high priestess is in there shining a guiding light and helping somebody understand, I want to say, their own emotions, their own shadow sides, something like this. So then we go on to this secret spring, and it's coming through this energy of like here where she's pulling down the stars, right? She's pulling in the stars in order to create kind of what's inside that ball of light is this. You know, I was saying it's like there's a huge amount of, it's almost like a lot of stuff compacted into a small space. So it's like she's pulling down the stars to make this ball of energy. And this ball of energy is represented by this kind of internal abundance. It's like bringing a lot of stuff into a space where there was nothing before, something like that. So pulling in these stars into this void, creating this beautiful spring where nothing was before. I had this ages ago, and it was like a cave that had been filled with light, and the walls, like it was perceived to be like a dark empty cave. It's like somebody had been hurt and they'd emotionally shut down, but then all of a sudden it was flooded with water, and it's like moss and vines and flowers and things started to grow, and then there was fish in the cave, and then all the walls were made of crystal and they were all lit up. It was really, really very beautiful. So it's like being inside that cave, and it's like this person's being kind of like led back down, there's something you've missed, come back to this place, there's something you've avoided looking at. And it's like she's encouraging them. It's like this fairy is saying, follow me. It's like the fairy is this ball of light, right? It's like, follow me, come and put your foot back into the water, come and test the waters, come and dive back into this emotional space, because there's potential in there that you've not acknowledged or you're not tapped into. Can you see all the stars in the water? It's like there's something down here. But again, it's like the other energy, which I'm going to say is like divine masculine maybe, is perceiving the fairy to be, it's almost like, well, the fairy's trying to get me to jump in here. It's some sort of temptation. It's some sort of trick. I want to say it's not a trick, because the temptation card came out with this. Let's just to show you, just kind of show you visually how it came out. Can you see how it's like, it's almost like this is under the water, right? All these stars are under the water. It's like, it's almost like that very famous painting of oh, I've forgotten his name now. I hate that when I forget a name, because I'm channeling. It's hard for me to jump out of the channeling and get, unless they give me the name. Oh, I almost got it. Hylas and the Nymphs. Thank you. I love that. I love when they give me the information. Hylas and the Nymphs. Where Hylas is being encouraged to jump into the water where all the nymphs are, and then they drown him. That's not what's happening here. It's like that's what this person thinks is happening. The person sees, it's like the person sees this fairy as a devil. It's like, oh, they're just trying to drown me, perhaps drown me in my own emotions, something like that. But it's like, no, you're being drawn down here for a reason. Like, I got Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran here. My bad habits lead to you. It's like I'm trying to break these bad habits, but it's the only, like, these bad habits, the only way that I can access this emotional space, something like that. Actually, I'm not 100% sure, but this energy is like, it's like she's using the temptation. She's using her body, because she knows that's the bad habit. It's almost like using somebody's bad habits against them, or not even against them. It's like utilizing someone's bad habits to get them to draw them in a certain direction that's actually ultimately good for them. I want to say that she's trying to help. She's not trying to drown you. It's like, yes, you're tempted by this. Yes, this looks like, it looks like your bad habits. It looks like the thing that's tempted you before. It looks like the thing that, it's like it has all the same hallmarks of the thing that is a bad habit, but it's just you. It's like it knows how to play you. This is the thing about the universe. It knows how to play you. It knows how to hook you, right? I welcome fishies with my hook. I know how to draw you in. So she's saying, I know how to draw you in here. I know how to get you into this water, because it's actually saying, and here on the temptation card, it's like, it's almost like, do you see, it's like, put your foot in the water, come down here, come and swim in these waters with me. And then it's like he does, but he's like, it's like there's all this around him, but he's just looking at this one thing. It's like there's something in the water that he's scared of. There's one thing in the water that he doesn't want to look at, or there's one thing in the water that, I mean, this is, I want to say this is himself, right? This is all himself, but it's like, because he's in denial about this one thing, he's not accessing this huge source of abundance. So the fairy's saying, come back in. I know you're scared of this, but it's like, you have to confront this. It's like, you have to look at it. You have to look at it. Stop avoiding it. Because the only way to get to this is to confront this, is the way it's coming through. And they're using temptation to get you to come and look at this. It's almost like, because if you think of the story of Adam and Eve, right, the serpent, the name Lucifer is actually the light bringer. biting the apple brought knowledge and information to Adam and Eve, where they were actually kind of either maybe in denial, you could say, or it's like, how can you make a choice? How can you make an executive choice if you haven't been given all the information? So it's like, this is actually going to give you the information. So temptation, are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever it's guise. You have the power to overcome temptation, but first you have to face it. So the sacred spring is saying success. You will be successful in this. It's scary, right? Confronting your own bad habits, confronting your own inner nature is scary, but you have to do this to understand yourself as a full human being, kind of thing. And it's like, because it says success, it's talking about, as I say, with the Empress, there's a huge amount of potential. And with this marine life, there's a huge amount of potential. This woman is creating a huge amount of potential. It's like untapped resources that he's not accessing because all he's looking at is the snake. Now, it could be like a literal fear of snakes. If you think about Indiana Jones, right? It's like, all I can see is the snake. All I can see is the thing that scares me. But it's like, you have to, it's like, I can't go into it too much, but I had this dream about, it was like my shadow self in the mirror, and like the demon in the mirror kind of thing, which is talking like it's part of yourself, right? It's the part of yourself you don't want to look at. And the temptation is to run away. But I was like forcing myself to almost push through the mirror and to go to this like black version of myself. It's like the only way to defeat that demon is to love it. The only way to defeat that demon is to love that dark part of yourself, to embrace it, to incorporate it. It's funny, I was watching Venom as well last night, and to become whole, right? And to learn how to work together in a healthy way, right? In a positive way that lets you tap into that golden shadow energy. So it's like my bad habits always lead to you. It's like all roads lead to you, because it's like the universe is conspiring, even like the angels are conspiring to get you to face a part of yourself that you're unwilling to look at, because there's potential there. Oh my God, I'm going around in circles. And I think you are. I think you're going around in circles. It's like, why can't I find my way out of this cave? I'm saying you, this person, this masculine energy, and it could be part of yourself, right? It's like, why do I keep going around in this cave? Why can't I find my way out? I've been here for such a long time. I've done the shadow work. I want to say, yes, you've done a lot of shadow work, but there's this one last thing that you have to face. Okay, it's like everything is drawing you to it. Everything. It's like the universe is pulling out every trick in the book to get you to go and face this demon. Oh, right. Now, I asked then, what is the demon? What is the snake? And I used the dragon book. Because like dragons, right? Lizards, scales, that kind of thing. And I'm just going to read what this says, because it came out as grace. And again, it's like so afraid of something that isn't actually scary. Can you see it's definitely meant to be the can you see the snake on the branch and the dragon on the branch? It's like the similarity. Again, it's like the masculine is perceiving this emperor, this, like, you cannot get a higher vibrational energy than this. The Empress and the High Priestess, this is like ascended, right? This is like angel on earth energy, and they're perceiving it to be this. I want to say yes, because, you know, the High Priestess, she incorporates the light and the shadow. It's like she's both of these. They're both parts of herself. Yeah. But it's like the masculines, it's almost like the masculine sees both parts, but it's almost like, I don't know if they're looking for something that's perfect, right? And it's like, all the scene is this. It's like, I don't trust this because I see this. It's like, they can't be an angel because I see the devil in them. It's like, they're both, like they're both, that they're meant to be both. That's who we are. That means this person's high vibrational. It means this person's doing well. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, so grace. So this High Priestess energy, who they're perceiving to be some kind of scary devil, I think because again, it's like maybe this person has some kind of, because it came out with the Knight of Wands, maybe this person does have some kind of like sex addiction. Again, welcome Fishies with my hook. Perhaps this person's got a bit of a past as a bit of a player. Perhaps they don't like that part of themselves very much. They don't want to see themselves that way. Something like this. Perhaps they do. There could be some ego going on there. But it's like, because this maybe they like, maybe they are obsessing, right? It's like they're obsessing over this. So it's like, well, if something's an obsession, then it's clearly a bad thing. But again, it's like this going around in circles energy, because you have to face it. I'll read this card as well in a minute. But the Grace card, it's like, it's like perceived to be bad, but it's not bad. I want to say, it's just when you suppress it, when you don't look at it, when you don't look at your shadow, when you see it as this big scary thing, that's when it becomes obsessive. That's when it controls you. And that's when it makes you slip up and act impulsively in ways that are destructive, because you're not incorporated the shadow. What you really want to do is incorporate it and get into that King of Wands Emperor energy, I want to say. Right, so Grace, let's look at the colouring as well on these two cards. Same colouring, right? So this snake is actually telling this divine masculine, perhaps, you are more than you can possibly imagine. This dragon flies into our lives when we have been or are struggling with self-worth, self-respect and self-love issues. It's like a part of themselves that they're refusing to look at, because it's like it paints them in a bad light, I want to say, right? They don't like that part of themselves. That part of themselves is the place where they acted impulsively and slipped up and made mistakes. It's like they're ashamed of that part of themselves. Again, it could be talking about like sex, you know, or when we have been neglecting ourselves. It's time to look at ourselves and discover who we truly are. We are magnificent human beings who need to find ways to let go of our self-imposed limitations and self-limiting beliefs. Okay, just there, I'm going to read this Devil and then we'll go back to the Grace card. So self-imposed. The devil can only control you if you let them. Where is it? Sorry, I've lost the devil. Oh no, you don't want to lose the devil. You definitely want to keep an eye on that. I actually cannot find the devil. Where is it? There. Will you be my slave? I live in the hell of night. I am here to dominate you, or so you believe. I represent your hidden impulses, your inner fears, impulses, right, Knight of Wands, your inner fears, your worst addictions. You're chained at my feet, but you put the chains on, right? Bad habits lead to you, right? I didn't do much. You gave me the power that I now have over you. You feel like you're hopelessly tied up to me, desperately attracted to my black sensual beauty, and you think I control you. Well, think again and stop playing the victim. Stop being ruled by restraining attachments. You can free yourself from my bondage, but you have to want it. Only then can you break free from these negative patterns or behaviors of yours. Whatever your obsession is, however deep your addictions are, remember that you can overcome them, so get a move on. Okay, it's like, it looks like the addiction, but it's here to help you. I want to say it's actually the Tarot de la Nuit, which is like, the Tarot de la Nuit is unique to this deck, and it's an angel of darkness. She comes to you when you are actually doing shadow work. So it's like this angel it's like an angel of the underworld, an angel that guides you through the darkest places. So it's like, it's confusing because it's like it's an angel, but it's a dark angel. Like, yes, that's exactly what it is, you know. It's here to help. It's here to help by almost like taking on aspects of the things that you're addicted to in order to encourage you to move towards them and embrace them and do that shadow work in a way that incorporates the shadow rather than being ruled by the shadow. She's not trying to chain you. She actually wants you to break through, but it's like she's presenting as a challenge, something like this. So Grace's words are simple. Stop it now. You are more than you can possibly imagine. You can achieve so much more than you foresee. And again, this is under the subject header of success and richness, right? Abundance. Believe in yourself. Push the boundaries of your self-imposed limits. If you don't try, you will never know how successful you can be. I'm not making this up. This is exactly how the cards came out. How successful you can be. And if you perceive that you have failed, remember there is no such thing as failure, only an experience to learn from. Try again. Dragons have an issue with the word love. Okay, so this love is central to this. And I want to say this is talking about the emotions, right? Emotional richness. Dragons have an issue with the word love because we continually misuse it. So they have opted instead for grace, which they tell me is more encompassing and authentic. Grace is a deep acceptance of all that is within and without us. It means that the end of a struggle through embracing the whole of us as we truly are. So embrace everything, reject nothing. The snake, the dark side, the bad habits is a part of you. Embrace the shadow, okay? Love the shadow, love that part of yourself because it's what makes you human. And that is what brings you to success and empowerment. Okay, so it says something that nothing is wasted, right? Everything, even the bad things that happen to us, it's a lesson. There's something we can take from it. So let me just read this for you. Vulture spirit. So this is talking about something to do with this thing that you won't look at, right? Something... What seems hideous, it's like a part of yourself, right? I mean, I can't wait to tell you the song as well. The part of yourself that's dark, the part of yourself that you don't like, the part of yourself that you think is unlovable, it is, right? You have to love that part of yourself first. What seems hideous has its own beauty, and the recycling and the repurposing the vulture does is as important as any other activity in nature that supports the cycle of life. The vulture spirit's message is that nothing is to be wasted, for nature sees value in everything that exists. What seems rotten and ugly has the potential to be transmuted into something beneficial, and you are reminded that any suffering you have experienced has not gone to waste, right? Nine of Wands, that's suffering, that's the wounded warrior, getting up and continuing the fight. It's not gone to waste. Wisdom and understanding, again, I'm going to come to another song in a second, that arose from the experience are talismans that will serve you on your journey wherever you go. What is decaying is only changing form, remember that, changing form, and will fertilize seeds, remember fertilize seeds, you wish to plant, turning that which has passed away into the substance that will support new growth. All that you might wish to deny or discard has value and can be repurposed and integrated into the new you that you are becoming. There's a big transformation happening here, and the new life that you are dreaming into being. No pain was in vain and no experience was wasted, for you have the power to use it to co-create something far better. This is the miracle in your partnership with spirit. It's like again, it's like being led in circles until you finally, it's like you can't get out of that cave until you go back and like face the thing that's like pulling you down there, right? The thing that's fishing you in. It's like it's this, but it wants you to, it's like it's just pulling you back down. It's like leading you down there because it's like unfinished business. There's something else you need to do, and it's like you have to allow. It's like these two things have to become one thing. It's like, and that's when the transformation happens. It's like it could be that there has been some kind of painful experience that's made this person shut down, but it's like lean into it, feel everything, feel every single part, allow yourself to be submerged in that thing that you've not been looking at, because it's like, actually, you know, you're perceiving it to be this, but it's like, it's all this. It's like there's so much potential, there's so much goodness in there, because it's actually going to transform you and create a different version of you, right? Because you're going to learn the lessons, something like that. Now, the song that came through for this, just to kind of get these back. So we've already had Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran. The song that came through for this, and again talking about self-love and things like this, is Lithium by Nirvana. It's okay because I found God. It's like how Archangel Michael led me to the devil. It's like the devil is leading you to God. Does that make any sense? It's like the working together, because they're both part of the human experience. Does that make any sense? So I'm just going to read the words to Lithium by Nirvana, and it could be, lithium is, not only is it used in batteries, right, lithium batteries as a source of energy. So again, going back to the theme of energy, but it's also used as a medical drug to deal with bipolar disorder. So we could actually be talking about somebody who has bipolar disorder, right? Sometimes they're an angel, sometimes they're a devil. I want to say that I'm not medically trained, so, you know, go to psychologists, go to doctors if you have bipolar, and you know, do follow your course of treatment. You know, those people are professionally trained. But I want to say, if it's not a medical condition, it's almost like two opposing sides of yourself fighting, right? It's like they're both, it's almost like the angel and the devil on your shoulder, kind of like pulling you in two different directions. I want to say it's like the more you can pull these energies together, right, with this, like, it's like expansion and contraction. It's like stop playing two different roles. I keep getting like Secret Life by Jack Severetti as well. It's like, don't have, it's like trying to please certain people by being this, and then like actually almost like your shadow side bubbling up and coming out in ways that make you feel shameful, something like that, where that's not what you're meant to do. You're meant to be both of these things. You're meant to embrace both of these. You're meant to pull them together with this contraction energy to be, you know, the full high priestess who's both. So I want to say that that's, again, going back to this, it's like the contraction energy. It's like pulling two sides of the self back together. So it could be that somebody feels a little bit like they're living two different lives or something like that, or there's two parts of themselves pulling them in different directions. I don't know, but let's just grab lithium and read the words. Nirvana, and again the word nirvana, right, it's like the sacred spring. This, it's almost like this is this person's nirvana, which is like talking about heaven, right? Nirvana's heaven, or an equivalent. So I'm so happy because today I found my friends. They're in my head, right? Talking about going in and doing the shadow work. Like, just to kind of show you, like, I found my friends, they're in my head. I went down and like I'm hanging around with all my friends in my head. It's like it's like the internal kind of, the internal psyche, the internal world, this internal dream space. I'm so happy because today I found my friends, they're in my head. I'm so ugly. Excuse me a second. Okay, sorry, it's my daughter getting socks. She's off to school, but she's going a little bit later today. Right, okay. So I'm so ugly. So again, it's talking about this self-hatred. It's that part of yourself that you think is ugly. I'm so ugly, but that's okay, because so are you. We broke our mirrors. Sunday morning is every day for all I care, and I'm not scared. Light my candles in the days, because I've found God. I'm so lonely, right? I'm so, whatever I wrote. Oh, I'm going to come back to I'm so lonely. That's okay, I shaved my head and I'm not sad. And just maybe I'm to blame for all I've heard, but I'm not sure. I'm so excited, I can't wait to meet you there. It's like, again, meet me at the Crystal Cave is like literally what I heard. Meet me at the Crystal Cave. It's like this person perhaps is also going inwards. Perhaps they're using some kind of substance to be able to go inwards and do that internal work. Perhaps you're meeting someone in the dream space. Perhaps you're meeting someone in the 5D. It's like trust. Again, being called to trust is like trust it, right? It's scary, but trust it. Like, meet me in the Crystal Cave. I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet you there. And I don't care. I'm so horny, right? Where's the, I'm so horny, Knight of Wands. And that's okay. My will is good. It's like I've got good intentions. So, I'm not going to crack. So I actually watched a brilliant film the other day about bipolar disorder called Silver Linings Playbook. If you're looking for a movie to watch, I definitely recommend it. Silver Linings Playbook. So it could be that somebody does feel a little bit erratic, right? A little bit impulsive, perhaps. Perhaps they have got a lot going on inside their own head. I'm not sure, but I think there is something to look at in there. So Lithium Nirvana, it's okay because I found God. So going down, doing that shadow work, incorporating that part of themselves. Oh, nearly done. We're up to the third part now, okay? Because here's the transformation. It's like they jump in, right? They jump in, they go down, they explore those emotions, they do that shadow work, they confront it's like the final battle, right? And it's like that big boss, that big devil is actually just a part of themselves that they've allowed. It's like they've allowed that part of themselves to control them, where actually it's like incorporating it. It's like becoming one, right? Like I was doing here. It's like incorporating both, like pulling those energies back together, right? Pulling those two sides of themselves in transforms this person into a new energy. Again, it's like, I've been getting this thing about the Empress turning into the High Priestess. It's like the two coming together creates the transformation. And then it comes out with this renewal. It's like the man and the snake become this frog. So I'm just going to go and say goodbye to my daughter. I think she's off to school now. I think her friend's here, and then I'll be back to explain the frog. Okay, I've never known someone to faff about so much when they're leaving the house. Right, okay, so like the transformation into this frog, it's like the incorporation of both turns them into a frog, but which sounds like not great. It's like, well, why would I do that? But it's because it's like this golden frog, right? Talking about the golden shadow. It's like it becomes imbued with that light that she's creating somewhere where I've lost. It's like it becomes like it like absorbs all this and becomes this like new thing. So it's like it's almost like the ugly duckling. It gives me the energy of like it's being picked out of a crowd. It's like the fairies now say, right, we choose you. It's almost like, you know, in a concert where the singer points to someone in the audience and the spotlight lands on them and they say, right, come up on stage, it's your turn to sing. And it's like the frog's going, wait, me? It's like, who, me? And he's clutching his throat. So there's something about something that needs to be spoken or something that needs to be said, right? Or it's like a special gift. It's like, oh, you can sing now. And it's like, I can sing? I didn't know I could sing. It's like it's being picked out of a crowd. It's like, this is the special frog. So it kind of gives me a little bit like ugly duckling energy, or, you know, the ugly duckling turns into a swan, or I was kind of getting Thumbelina as well at one point, like the frog prince, right? It's like the frog prince. It's like, you're the frog that's going to become the handsome prince. It's like, that's kind of what it's saying. And then do you remember me talking about the lily pads and planting seeds for the future? Now, I read something about lilies, that not only are they a symbol of enlightenment, again, talking about the high priestess energy, enlightenment, higher vibrations, love, unconditional love, abundance, prosperity. There's a lot of stuff about like prosperity here. Again, going back here, there's actually on the crystal cave, there's a peacock up here. It's like, I don't know, it's like maybe this person thought that with that kind of Knight of Wands energy, it's like maybe they thought they shouldn't show off or something, but it's like, no, you should show off. It's like showing off, like, do you see what I mean? It's like prosperity, abundance, richness. It's like this stuff that's inside, you need to bring it out now. You need to bring it back out with you and dress yourself in it and wear it and show off. It's like, show off that part of yourself. Again, it's like, you know, like women are like, you know, you should be matronly, you know, you shouldn't be this, because people will judge you. It's like, no, do you know what, if your stomach looks like that, show it off. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's like, it's self-acceptance of something that you've kept hidden, but it's actually going to bring you into the spotlight. It's going to bring you growth and success and prosperity. Like, you're going to be noticed, you're going to be picked out of the crowd. So the other thing about the lilies is that apparently the seeds, they live in like flood areas. So again, talking about like the empty cave and then this water flooding in. It's like the seeds that were planted a long time ago and then that cave ran dry, but the seeds of these lilies are still there. So it's like when the water floods back in, it's like these seeds are reactivated and then you get the lilies. So it's like talking about something that's been suppressed or like put on the back burner, or a part of yourself that you forgot about, or you buried, or you refused to look at. It's like it's coming back up again, and it's actually coming back up with learning lessons about who you are and being authentic, but again, like potential and higher vibration and moving up in the world. So it's like yeah, like you're the one being picked with this renewal energy. So let me just find the book for this one. 20. A large golden brown frog sits on a heavy lily pad in a small pond as a warm, sleepy dusk dissolves into night. Its deep, sonorous song reverberates through the rising chirps of crickets. See, it's heard. It's like the noise of crickets is like the noise of everyone else. And it's like this frog's song is like, it stands out, it's deeper, right? There's more to it, there's a richness to it. It could be literally that somebody sings. The chorus of the frogs is raucous and joyous, seeming to echo loudly in your soul. Again, this going within, right? You hear it in your soul. A gaggle of tadpoles lurks at the edge of the pond, hidden and safe, waiting with expectant patience until their metamorphosis occurs. The frog's 3 stages of development, egg, tadpole, fully formed amphibian, symbolize renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that is occurring. It's never too late to begin again. So again, with that vulture spirit, it's like nothing's wasted. Everything is a lesson. Everything, like if you actually do, it's like shutting down and refusing to do the emotional work after some sort of loss or something. It's like, no, lean into it, feel the pain, feel all the emotions, because there's lessons in there. There's like, that's what's going to make you stronger. That's what's going to make you stand out. It's never too late to begin again. If your past was less than successful, remember this. What has occurred does not need to mandate what will occur. You can start out fresh and new. However, if you do what you have always done, you will get what you have always gotten, right? Don't go round in circles. Don't go round in circles. Stop ignoring that part of yourself that you're refusing to look at. You have to incorporate it. You have to love that part of yourself. In order to reboot your life, you need to do things a different way. Abounding good luck is activated and awaiting you. Reflect on the varying symbolism of the frog in different cultural traditions and see if any meanings resonate for you at this time. Oh my God, my power's at 15%. I need more lithium. In ancient Egypt, the frog symbolized birth and rebirth. In certain Native American traditions, frog medicine is healing by virtue of its transformative life. Ancient Celts believed that frogs represented healing because of its connection with water, right? Water, no way. Like, this is genuinely how the cards came out. And the way it transforms from tadpole to adult. In China, the frog is a powerful symbol of prosperity, healthy childbirth, and good luck. The spirit of the frog says, be willing to release any preconceived notions on how life should unfold. This is a time to be adaptable. Be willing to change. Abundance and good fortune will follow. And that's exactly the messages that I've been getting. It's like things are changing. 2022, I want to say, is a period where people are going to experience rapid expansion and quick change. And we have to be ready for it. So let go of anything that you've been clinging on to. Let go of tradition of the way things should be. Again, like with my readings, it's like I don't feel like I need to do the readings the way that I was doing because it was causing stagnation. I have to go with the flow. I have to be in the moment. I have to be responsive. It's like that part of yourself. If that Knight of Wands represents a part of yourself that you've been denying, it's like it's needed. It's going to be needed going forward because it's impulsive. It acts quickly, right? So it's unbelievable the way these cards came out. So it's talking about singing your own song. He's looking at his throat, and I was getting this thing about it's like he wants to. He's got something to express. It's like the throat chakra opening up, and then unbelievably, so the cards that came out to clarify this are the cards of Canary Spirit, Sing Your Own Song, and Ace of Swords, Truth. Speak your truth. Say what you need to say. There's something that needs to be expressed here. It's saying say it. And you also have this card, again, all this green, right? All this green energy that's coming through. It is the heart and the throat chakra, I think, are what is talking here. There's something that needs to be expressed. So something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or a memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free, right? So it's like something that needs to be said, something that needs to be exposed. Again, Ace of Swords can indicate a truth. It's something. I just feel like this frog has something to say about some deep shadow work, some inner reflection. It's like they followed this devil down there, and like they found a part of themselves where they had this abundant richness, and it's like bringing it back up. It's like re-emerging, bringing it back up to the surface, but there's a transformation here. It's like the energy's different now, is what I want to say. So let me read the Canary Spirit. 12. It's like there's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. And things that we think about or we perceive are bad are actually just trying to get us to learn lessons. And there's this real message about loving parts of yourself that you thought were unlovable, or being authentic, something like this as well. Sing your own song. Canary Spirit arrives to help you find your authentic voice, right? Authentic voice, and express what's in your heart. Free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine. Let it shine, right? Because this is deep within the cave. This is in the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. That's where it's coming from. Again, Carl Jung, Golden Shadow, go and look it up. So free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine as Canary Spirit sings to remind you of your inherent joy and to support you as you sing your own song. Now is the time to let the world know who you really are. Canary Spirit's message is that you are free to be yourself and to express your most cherished desires. The world wants to hear your song. If your inquiry is about a relationship, you're being called to fully be yourself, for only then will you find harmony and joy. You can make music with others so beautifully when your note rings true. So listen again. So a secret coming to light, perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what is hidden, we can become free. It's something to do with whatever that snake is for you, the thing that's hard to look at, right? When you recognize it, when you incorporate it, when you tap into that golden shadow energy, that's when you're recognized. That's when you stand out from the crowd. And that's when you're given opportunities to be authentic. And when you're authentic, when you show the worst parts of yourself, like the ugliest parts of yourself, and say, I learned lessons from that experience. Those parts of myself that were hard to love, I love them now. And I'm going to give other people the opportunity to love me for who I truly am. So listen again. If your inquiry is about a relationship, you're being called to fully be yourself, for only then will you find harmony and joy. So one of the songs that came through for this was Rescue Me by Madonna. I'm talking, I believe in the power of love. Do you have the courage to love me for me? So just to kind of read you the lyrics for that. So Rescue Me, Madonna. So talking about, it's like you have to love those darkest parts of yourself first before you can give other people the chance to love them. And sometimes it can be like finding somebody who loves the horrible parts of yourself allows you to love them as well. So it's like, I'm talking, right? Ace of Swords, I'm talking. I believe in the power of love. I'm singing. I believe that you can rescue me. With you, I'm not a little girl. With you, I'm not a man. When all the hurt inside of me comes out, you understand. You see that I'm ferocious. You see that I am weak. You see that I am silly and pretentious and a freak. But I don't feel too strange for you. I don't know exactly what you do. I think when love is pure, you try to understand the reasons why. And I prefer this mystery. It cancels out my misery and gives me hope that there could be a person that loves me for me, right? With you, it keeps going on, but it's like that. Stop me from drowning, baby, I'll do the rest. So it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to put my feet in the water. I'm going to explore those emotions. I'm scared, but I'm going to do it, right? Just don't let me drown. It's not my business to decide how good you are for me, how valuable you are, and what the world can see. Only that you try to understand me and have the courage to love me for me, right? So brilliant, perfect. It really wraps up everything that's been coming through. And then the other song to finally clarify was Wait for Life by Emile, Haynie and Lana Del Rey. And this part, I'm lonely, stood out to me. And I think the truth is that somebody's lonely. I think that's the hard thing to say. I'm lonely, right? Perhaps you could be surrounded with people, right? Perhaps somebody welcomes Fishies to their hook all the time, but perhaps those relationships aren't satisfying. Perhaps they're still lonely. Because they want somebody. I mean, this is very surface level. The Knight of Wands is a player. They're in one day and out the next, and they don't give people the chance to see this. They don't give the people the chance to see the bad parts in themselves. Perhaps this is why this person has been a player, because it's like they want the adoration, and the second somebody gets too close, they're off. But that fear of opening up, that fear of really showing people the worst parts of themselves, or the most hidden parts of themselves, or the most truthful parts of themselves, that kind of that runner energy is actually not letting people get close enough to love them for who they authentically are. And of course you're going to be lonely, because it's in this song. I'm lonely in this song, and also in Lithium he says, I'm so lonely, I'm so lonely. So yeah, you have to let people, you have to open up, you have to let people in, you have to let people see the worst parts. Otherwise you're not truly loved for who you truly are, right? People only love the surface presentation, you know, the character that you're playing, rather than the authentic self. So let me just pull this song up. It's the last one on my Spotify. So, Wait for Life, Emile, Haney, and Lana Del Rey. Why you make me work so hard to put on that evening show, when you know that all I want is to make your money grow? You're like a baby who don't go nowhere to go. I feel you eyeing me, you keep it on the low. But I can't let you in, and I can't keep you out. I can't let you in because you'll see who I really am, but I can't keep you out because, you know, I'm drawn to you like this. You know, I wait for life to win, but it never comes around. I can't hear you call, and I can't hear me shout. I wait for it to break, but it never comes around. Don't know me. I'm lonely, I'm lonely. Why do you make me take that shit, right? So it could be somebody is taking something. It's like somebody who has to perform. It's giving me the energy, and maybe this is something that's going to come out in the news. It's the energy of like, maybe it's even like Britney Spears, right? You know, under her, you know, under the control of the people who are controlling her, you know, forcing her to take certain medication so that she could continue to perform and make them money. It's got that kind of energy. It's like, maybe somebody has bipolar or a bad mental health, and it's like the people who are going to make money off this person just keep plying them with drugs to kind of keep them under control. It's got that kind of energy to it. Again, if you want to go and speak to independent doctors, if you want to go and get independent advice, you know, go and do that. Don't allow people to control you with drugs. That's awful. But obviously if you are on medication for something like bipolar, don't just stop taking it. Don't kind of cold turkey it. Again, look, cold turkey, right? Don't just cold turkey it, because obviously that's very dangerous, and it may not be the best course of action. But if you are on medication and you don't feel like it's right for you, or you feel like you're being controlled by it, go and speak to a different doctor, right? Get independent advice, and figure out how to either change your prescription or come off it slowly. Don't just, you know, why do you make me take that shit to put on that evening show when you know I don't even need it? The problem is when you have bipolar, and they talk about this, if you go and look at the film Silver Linings Playbook, or you go and watch the Cinema Therapy video on it. Cinema Therapy is a YouTube channel. They do movie reviews with a therapist. They actually have, I think he's the actor or director on there, and he's talking about how, you know, he took medication to control his bipolar disorder, and then he got better. So he was like, I don't need the medication anymore, stop taking it. And of course the medication was the thing that was making him better. So and there's interesting things in that movie as well, where they talk about, you know, trying the different medications, and, you know, how they made them feel flat and all this type of stuff. I think, you know, from what I understand, I think it's a long process, and you do have to find the right therapist, you do have to find the right doctor, you do have to keep continually tweaking your medication to get the dosage right, you know, in a way that, you know, you feel human, you don't feel flat, but you're not kind of flying off in all directions either. So again, I'm not medically trained, but from what I understand from listening to other people's stories, you know, do get second opinions, do persist with things, do slowly tweak your medication rather than making any sweeping changes. But again, somebody feels like this, right? Why do you make me take that shit to put on the evening show when you know I don't need it? It's better than your booze and blow. You're like a baby, don't know any better. You don't know, you drag me down, you keep it on the low, and I can't let you in and I can't keep you out. I wait for life to win, but it never comes around. I feel like I'm falling apart. Would you tell me? Would you tell me? Would you tell me? I'm lonely, right? So I don't know whose this story is. I don't know who I'm reading for. I don't know if this is going to be something that comes out in the news. I don't know if this is a collective message. Perhaps some people are struggling with kind of conditions like bipolar, or just the two parts in themselves, right? The accepted 3D version, the empress, the role that we're expected to play, and then the part of themselves that's perhaps really wanting to come out, the part of themselves that they keep hidden, the part of themselves that they think is not acceptable. The more you resist, the more you deny this part of yourself, the more it's going to erupt the more it's going to show up in your life in uncontrolled or tower moment type of ways. The more you pull this energy together, the more you incorporate all parts of yourself, and really learn to be all those things at once. Then you become more like this energy, which is very, very balanced, very knowing, very deep, very spiritual. So I hope this reading was helpful. Again, not avoiding the things that are tempting you, but recognizing that you're not a victim. The devil only controls you if you allow them to. But there's always something behind that. Whatever tempts you, there's always an underlying cause, right? There's always something hiding that somebody's unwilling to look at. And I feel like it's, for whoever this is, it's like unwilling to explore some deep emotions about something that happened in their past. Again, it says that something hidden is about to come to light, perhaps a secret or a memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we become free. So it could be something perhaps that happened in childhood, a painful memory of the past. So I do feel like it's like putting the blinders on. It's almost like he's wearing a mask, right? I feel like this person's denied either a part of themselves. They've refused to look at something that they did in the past, or something that was done to them in the past. Something that they're ashamed of. It's like it has to come up. It has to be looked at. The emotions have to be explored. Again, if you want to get the help of a therapist to do this, absolutely do that. But if you've been feeling like you've been going around in circles, right, in this dark cave, and you've been running away from this, it's like running away from the devil, when actually it's drawing you to it to get you to do it, so that you can have success. Literally, we had a card about success, right? Secret Spring. It's like trying to get you in there to do the work. Success, renewal, being chosen, right? Being authentic, standing out from the crowd, because it's kind of like showing your weird self, like showing the darker parts of yourself, so that other people can love that, and letting people love you for you, or me for me, or all of us for who we truly authentically are. All right, I hope that reading was helpful to somebody out there. Do take really good care of yourselves. Do reach out to professionals if you do have mental health I don't want to say issues, but issues. If you need help exploring your own mental health, or if you do need help with medication, absolutely reach out to professionals. And if those professionals don't work for you, get a second opinion, right? Go somewhere else. Find something that does work for you. But do seek professional guidance if this is your story. And don't avoid the thing that you've been avoiding, because that's fighting that last battle, looking at the thing that's hard to look at is going to be the thing that's most liberating for you. Okay, best of luck with that. Yeah, please do get professional help if you need it. And of course, I love the deepest, darkest parts of myself, and I hope you do too. And let's support each other in allowing ourselves to be full humans who are made of light and shadow. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.